What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you a World of Tanks gameplay commentary. One of my matches in my T29 American heavy tank. It is going to be a standard battle on highway, and it is a tier 8 match while I'm driving a tier 7 heavy. So we're going to see exactly how well this vehicle performs. But I mean, let's be honest, it is a fully upgraded T29 who even the developers have acknowledged is a, quote, super comfortable tank to drive, unquote. I mean, I paraphrased a little there, but they use the phrase comfortable instead of calling it what it probably is, which is overpowered. But it isn't so overpowered to where it's causing game-breaking issues for the most part. I mean, a person sees a T29, they kill it, they go on with their lives. And yeah, if it's played appropriately, it can certainly do fine, even against tier 9s, and that is due to a variety of factors, one of which being it's good alpha for a tier 7 tank. It has 300 damage, average damage. Hold on, let's just pull up these stats. Average damage, 320, penetration, 198. So for a tier 7 vehicle, that's really good. Right here, I'm looking for some side shots on things. And then you look at the APCR rounds, it has 245 penetration, which means it can certainly handle tier 9s and tier 10s as a tier 7 vehicle. Not to mention, its armor is okay. Its whole armor is not the greatest. It can be penetrated rather easily, but it can also ricochet if angled appropriately. And not saying that it will bounce shots reliably, certainly not against tier 8s and 9s, and even tier 7s will get through it pretty reliably. Hell, tier 6s can as well. But the overarching thing about it is its turret armor is legendary. It does have the hatch. If you shoot it towards the top of the turret where the hatch is and where the front mantlet is not, you can penetrate it. And I do believe if you shoot it on the sides of the front mantlet with a relatively high penetration gun, such as many tier 8 vehicles have, and some tier 7s can as well, you will also penetrate. But from a distance, it is very hard to pen if it is hull down. The enemy team looking like they've decided to try and take the field rather effectively. Our team in a world of trouble. And this T37 going to be my first kill of the match as he tries to drive towards our base, which there was nothing there but our KV2, who is sniping from base with the KV2 derp. Not the wisest of decisions in my book. This T26, this super Pershing, driving out in the open. I tracked him, but I did not penetrate. A little bit disappointed about that, so I'll take a blind shot, see if I can get a little bit more damage on him, but I won't know if that's actually the case until the post-game stats. And again, like I said earlier, our team in a world of hurt in the field. That 50 the FCM 50 ton now no longer existent. Our T44 having the common sense to fall back and try and retreat, make a last stand elsewhere. Right now I recognize we got to take city and then fall back to base, but first things first is absolutely take city. This IS-3 looking at me, and he will hit me for a high roll of 402 with his average damage of 390. Right here, got another average 390 damage gun coming in on me. Gotta take him out as quickly as I can. He starts to ignore me, trying to shoot that leopard, and I am also just trying to have as good of situational awareness as I possibly can. Angling my armor, hoping I'll ricochet and possibly shoot before he can, and that is exactly the case. Take him out before he can shoot me with his high damage gun for a medium tank, especially for a tier 8 medium tank. Got this IS-6 coming around the corner, hitting me pretty square in the side, and him barely living there. I'm trying to, where is that damage? Yes, I did high roll, but not enough, and it looks like our T32 will save me from that IS-3. I mean, IS-6, my bad. The T32 on the enemy team getting engaged and managing to eliminate our Tiger P. I want to see if I can take him out with our T69 here. I know full well he's not aiming at me. Gonna take a nice easy shot right there and then fall back. After firing, I know I will reload before he does, move in, and take him out. Triple kill, and the enemy team is already on our base, so it's time to make things happen. We have solidified our position in the city, and right here, the super Pershing definitely in a world of hurt. And he is going right back to his garage. The Comet coming in to try and run some interference along with the Chaffee as well, although the Chaffee probably should have been one of the tanks on the capture. Right here, this Ferdinand trying to kind of, he's blocking me in. Let's be honest about this. He's kind of blocking me in, and I'm waiting for him to move. Then I tell him also to follow me as I go to base and kind of noobishly run into that pole. Tiger 1 and Comet causing a bit of trouble here, but I know we need to start moving towards base if we want to have any hope of winning. Looking like that Ferdinand did eliminate that Chaffee, kind of an overkill if you ask me. And the T34-3 saying that his team is going to lose now, and he is absolutely right. Just simply because that Chaffee decided to, I don't know, run interference when he really should have just been capturing base. At this point, they would have capped us out, and they would have had a solid victory, but I guess the Chaffee player not acknowledging the fact that he really had no place on that front line. 2 Tiger 1s definitely causing a bit of trouble. The enemy team does have a hit point lead, and tank count is even. In fact, it's probably going to go in their favor here in just a second, but first I'm going to see if I can eliminate this Hellcat, and I can, keeping us even 12-12. But a significant hit point difference. I've really got to abuse that turret armor I was talking about earlier. And right here, this Tiger 1 pops up, get a free shot, and fall back. His round hits nothing but dirt because he doesn't have time to aim before I fall out of sight. Right here again, poking. Using my turret armor best I can, staying hull down. The other Tiger 1 coming up, having full awareness of what he is doing. And our Ferdinand comes to my rescue as this Tiger 1 falls down the Achilles down there as well, taking a shot at his last known location, but unfortunately missing him or getting a critical, not quite sure which happened. The Tiger 1 right here in a world of hurt, but me ricocheting that round from the Achilles, perfectly fine. Tiger 1 will be kill number 5, and the Achilles moving in to engage as we mop them up right here. I can't recall. Oh yes, that is absolutely right. I get the kill shot on him right here. Monster kill number 6, and I absolutely decimate that Achilles with an ammo rack explosion. But let's go to those post-game stats and see how everyone else racked and stacked. And looking at these post-game stats, we earned 2 very predictable medals with the amount of damage dealt high caliber and the amount of kills done Top Gun. And Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, a little bit predictable considering how much damage and how many kills I got in a tier 7 and a tier 8 match. But we also get Demolition Expert for destroying the ammo rack of that Achilles, Fire for Effect for doing our hit points or more and damage, and Bruiser for damaging enemy vehicles, modules, or injuring crew members at least 5 times. So, accidentally skipped forward more than I meant to. Right here, looking at how each team performed, the enemy team had a few MVPs, one of them being one of their Tiger 1s. The other Tiger 1 actually not doing too shabby for himself either, but the actual MVP by a few hit points of damage was their IS-6, who dealt over 3,000 damage just barely, while on my team, well, we obviously know it was me with over 4,300 damage, and the next top performer right behind me was the KV2, so I talked a little bit of trash about him earlier on, but it looks like he actually did end up doing quite a bit of punishment to the enemy team there towards the middle of the match, and as it was starting to more swing back into our favor. The T29 doing quite alright for himself, and the Tiger 2 not too shabby as well. Ferdinand, he was important in the end game, but overall I would have liked to have seen more damage from him. Excuse me, such is the way of things. And then we had a few 0 performers, and the enemy team had 1 0 performer and a couple that really didn't pull all that much weight, but it was a very close match, very well fought. I mean, not that much hit points difference there at the end, and really it could have gone either way had a few things happened differently. However, I did my best to make sure that our team won, and in the end it proved to be enough. So we have 17 shots fired, direct hits 16, 14 of those were penetrations, so I was very accurate that match, as accurate as I could be, obviously. And I always try to be accurate, of course, as everyone should, unless the enemy, unless that enemy tank is falling away from your sight, like they're going behind cover, take that shot, and if you miss, you miss, whatever. Chances are pretty good by the time they pull back around, you'll be reloaded again and ready to try once more. Still, hits received 4, and only one of those actually ricocheted, so damage blocked by armor 150. I still would have survived had that even penetrated, just because I had 300 something hit points left there at the end. And enemy vehicles damaged and destroyed. Oh my goodness, I have just taken notice that I almost, if I had damaged one more enemy vehicle, I would have gotten Confederate and Top Gun. So very close, yet no cigar. And base capture defense points, 8 go to me. And distance traveled, about 1.8 kilometers. So overall, that got me a good amount of experience, especially with the ×2, and credits, well, pretty respectable as well. However, that's going to about do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you got a replay you think I should do a commentary on, there is a link in the description below with instructions on how to do so. And there is also other ways to follow and support my channel in the description as well. But what's it? This has been Spang, and clearly I am just oh so professional. Until next time, my viewers.
MLG.